me some of that good old love.
Sir Smurf Little, representing always. You can't tell what's going on, so here's a little story. Undeveloped pussy, birth who ignorant. They say my birth was somewhat illegitimate, so that makes me ignorant, partly due to my upbringing, which was somewhat belligerent. I weren't nurtured, they never once helped me to create a marketing tool for me to work with. I was highly nervous, the street life was what you had left us with to work with. Drugs I empowered, and how I tried to make every cell when the blocks were far too overcrowded. And that skill, getting pussy had nothing on how it felt to earn my first crack sale. But when that failed, I rather that than my life existence being consumed within a jail cell. Driven to the point where I felt compelled, my train of thought is simply off the rails.
Can't make out what's going on within cipher ends. How we feel so alone and far from home. We can't make out what's going on within cipher ends. How we feel so alone and far from home.
I carry an animal instinct within my heart. I'm sweating away like a slave on Noah's Ark. But I aim to outthink the shark. I'm always on point and that's mentally sharp. Let's be realistic, cause where I live ain't too good for the physical male characteristic. So what's the method? Because they smoke weed non-stop and become so intensely aggressive. That's Obia, we ain't eating and you got my block feeling like little Ethiopia. Hobia, how I'm made to feel a certain way if I don't embrace the British culture. And that's word to my grandmother, ancestors who partly built this motherfucker. We've been abused like no other. I thought I'd pass on a message to my black brother.
Can't make out what's going